brother? Mainstream media? Government cover-ups? You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Leanne McAdoo is reporting live from the center of downtown Napa, which is also the center of the 6.1 earthquake that hit Sunday. And what we do is cover issues that are important, in my view. Sometimes it's mainstream type stories like this because I think it's important. My crew thinks it's important. Sometimes it's stories that nobody else is covering. So sometimes you'll see us chase like a heat-seeking missile, to quote Matt Drudge, whatever the big story is. But sometimes you'll see us hammering something that we think is important to make it the big story. Coming up, Republican candidates are hyping up the Foley beheading, implying that Democrats aren't doing enough to fight terror. It's bipartisan at the leadership level funding al-Qaeda. Just want to point that out. White Marine beaten by black mob in Michael Brown revenge attack. Racial attacks are popping up all over the country. But meanwhile, a black cop shoots a white teen in California. This happened a week ago with Dylan Taylor, and you don't see anybody rioting. Because, I mean, a lot of times, folks, if a white cop shoots a black person, it's not racially motivated. It doesn't have to turn into a race war each and every time this stuff goes on. Most of the white people in this country, I'll assure you, are not racist. But if you watch MSNBC and all their race baiting, you would believe that. So we'll talk about this and more with Larry Elder, always informative, black talk show host, best-selling author, who's been making big international headlines with his standoffs he's been having on CNN and others. That's coming up. But Leanne McAdoo, we're going to talk to John Bound coming up to get his breakdown of things there in Napa in a moment, our other reporter. Where are you going next? I know you guys are planning a lot of stuff, some man-on-the-street interviews to see what people are concerned about. You're going to put some reports out about Californians helping each other. My big issue is the next Californian Fukushima coming? In fact, I don't think it's a question. A California Fukushima is coming if they don't mothball these reactors. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of coal, but they're shutting off our coal plants while keeping reactors that are 35 years old that should have already been shut down running. Leanne McAdoo.
Leanne McAdoo for Infowars.com. Again, I'm here in downtown Napa at the epicenter of this 6.0 magnitude earthquake, covering this destruction. And yes, it is pretty... It just doesn't make much sense that they're here building these nuclear facilities along the Ring of Fire. It's got 75% of the Earth's volcanoes, 90% of the earthquakes, and yet here there are families and cities built all along these fault lines. And we spoke with some families last night. We're going to go back and speak with them again today. You know, it's running right through their neighborhoods. And these are not, you know, a lot of people might think, oh, it's Napa. They're just rich people out there drinking wine all day. These are actually the working class families who run this whole wine industry. They're the ones that are out there at the vineyards and helping, and the restaurants. It's a huge tourism industry here. So these are working class families that don't know how they're going to fix their homes or find new water heaters, or, you know, hopefully not be taken advantage of by a lot of the scam contractors that are out here trying to bid on jobs. So this is going to affect all of us.
Leanne, what's the schedule? I know you're going to go up and report on the Rothschild heir that died the day before the earthquake and tie that into Bohemian Grove, and for a separate report, because it's so interesting. You're very close to where Baroness Rothschild lived and Bohemian Grove. I guess that's going to be tomorrow, or is that today? Because I want to give people the schedule. You're going to go to Southern California to that Devil's Canyon where they're saying if there's a big earthquake, that whole thing could blow up.
Absolutely. It's just the stories are all around us. John Bound is really going to be hitting hard about the Rothschild here. We got a winery that we're going to be visiting as well that ties into that whole story. Pretty interesting to think about that occultic tie that here this one powerful Rothschild dies, and then we have this huge earthquake right here where she lived. But also we're going to be traveling down near Berkeley, maybe Caltech, to try and speak with an expert there and just find out when the next big...
Exactly. Great job, Leanne. We'll get more with you.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset, where we are proud of our 100% grown and sewn American-made jeans. Whether you're out for dinner, working on the farm, or on the road, Diamond Gusset Jeans offers a full spectrum of style and sizes for any occasion. Our loyal customers enable us to continue sponsoring Liberty Media outlets. Use promo code FREEDOM to receive a 15% discount at gusset.com. In Liberty, David Hall, Diamond Gusset Jean Company.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
They have a word for it, and it's called total treason. But from the perspective of the Mexican president and people like Governor Jerry Brown, they were never Americans to begin with. I cannot go to Mexico and get free health care or move there and become a citizen. I can't go to Nigeria. I can't go to Japan. I can't go to Russia. I can't go anywhere but a handful of Western nations and just instantly basically get a free ride. Mexico is a failed, collapsed country. Guatemala is even more failed and collapsed. Nicaragua and others are just absolute nightmare hellholes. I've been there. I recommend you go there. California is scary now in Southern California with the cracked streets and the smog and just the masses of people shuffling around aimlessly, homeless people everywhere. Then you go to Central and Northern California. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful state. Places like Santa Cruz, where we're on the radio, it is so picturesque, it makes your head spin. But you are seeing political treason right now. If they can bring in, California's 38+ million people, that's the official new number, another 10 million, whatever, you've got an economic and political voting bloc that can do whatever they want. And they're moving to totally ban guns in California. They are moving to have forced inoculations, which have already begun, only state doing it. They are moving to claim that parental consent ends at 12, that the state can tell your kids what to do. Your child isn't an adult at 12. The state takes your child at 12. This is all happening in California, and then they're using the same political model to then flood surrounding states with a political bloc that will vote how they're told. Because they've branded, quote, Hispanic victory to leftist globalist policies. And it is game over for this country, just so everybody knows. The southern border is completely wide open. We are now 8 months into it being totally open, 6 months into the Border Patrol going public about it, and it's not even in the news anymore. Felons are released, 30+ thousand a month, who have aggravated felonies, carjackings, assaults, child molestation. Every day I see regional news articles where they catch some guy who'd already killed 2 or 3 people, or raped 4 or 5 women, or raped 6 or 7 little kids, or robbed 4 or 5 banks. You see the headlines. And they're just released again. This is the end of the country. This is the order out of chaos. This is the plan. And isn't it fitting that California, the state that's killing America, is on the teetering edge of fault lines that are set to go at any time? Every expert, I've got CNN right here with their own experts, seismologists, geologists, saying that the big one is set to come. Los Angeles awaits earthquake that could be the big one, a megaquake. Is long overdue, is the headline. Is California's big one coming? CNN. And what is Obama worried about? Obama looks at introducing transgendered troops. Washington Examiner. Regardless of what you think about transgendered people, this is just a political joke. Oh, we'll pay for your $50,000 sex change in most states, but we'll take an old lady's house if she doesn't pay income taxes. Oh, the IRS is laying off the rest of their criminal fraud investigators for rich people, for white-collared criminals. But audits of blue-collar workers are up. Oh, lemonade stands are illegal. Neighbors calls cops on boy's lemonade stand. Boy's entrepreneurial spirit angered at least one neighbor. Tampa Bay Times. See, you want to blame the police for all this? Here's a headline. Americans have little confidence or trust in police, survey shows. Because they're, quote, increasingly militarized. Yeah, who militarized them? Who opened the borders? Who shipped in the drugs? Who destabilized the country? I love how Congress will come out and criticize the TSA. Who funded and created the TSA? Who could defund them? Who could change their policies in a day? Congress. But they act like, with their 6% approval rating, that, oh, it's the TSA. Oh, it's the cops. Yeah, it's the compartmentalized cops who they've been transforming into a thug army without complete success. See, if we attack the police, I figured this out about 5 years ago. I was playing into the plan. If we get mad at the armored vehicles and the checkpoints and the violations of our rights and just blame them, the globalists win. You know why? Because that's meant to gang mentality, put them into their own thin black ski mask line, thin blue line, and be a self-fulfilling prophecy. As society collapses, they'll circle the wagons and a civil war will erupt. Who federalized the police? Who gave them the training? Who put the population on welfare? Who shipped the jobs overseas? Who dumbed the education down? The globalists, the New World Order, the people on top, not the police. And I'm not even defending the police here. I'm giving you cold, hard facts. Bill Gates runs American education. Warren Buffett, George Soros, who funds billions every decade for abortion. who funds billions for gun control every decade. These people, look at this headline. Bill Gates and his wife, in just one of hundreds of initiatives per year, give $1 million of $6 million to